All right, first of all, I would like to thank everybody for being here today. What we did is we brought in many people from the industry. We have somebody that does our labor for us. We also have a realtor and a client with Carol Smith and stuff. Clay Carden has been involved in the mortgage side of the industry for decades at this point in time. And then we got Jessica Cooper, the store manager, director of Ferguson's. We brought everybody here to kind of give an insight of what's really going on in our industry. That's, customers are very unaware of really how the game is played. So we brought everybody here to share their stories and show their impact on what's going on in the industry.
My main goal is education. And so I'm hoping today that you guys can all give consumers a little taste of what it's like to be on your side and maybe some things they don't know. So let's start with you, Jessica. I think one of the things that I know that we do is we send people into the store for a number of reasons. One, I think it gives them confidence that we're there. We've been there since the very beginning. When you get them, that's the first time you've seen them. So we want to be there to bridge that gap. It fast tracks your ability to find what they want, but it also hopefully helps us help them make choices that are more value driven.
The level of value, trust and knowledge that brings for your client is immeasurable. Many times we don't even get budgets. So the homeowner comes in, they say, I'm told that I'm supposed to come and make selections. They also are often told to make those selections and they need it by tomorrow.
So they literally just get to come in and they get the wants in there.
They get the wants.
Hey, I want this and I want that, and then all of a sudden.
And the one thing that I will say my staff does well is really they're asking the right questions. The sad thing is most of those homeowners don't know the answers to those questions. They don't know what their budget is. They don't know what their timing is. They don't know if they're supposed to only select between these brands or when it comes to valves in the walls and things of that nature. So I have to say it's a pleasure for my staff to work with your clients and you because we know all that we need to know before we even begin.
We sit there and do a budget with our clients. I tell them I can put anything you want me down onto like your appliance line or your lighting and package line, but I do believe you're going to do this based upon a lot of times what you're building in the neighborhood you're building in. You're like your neighbors and stuff. So for me to false a number doesn't do my clients any good. I want to make sure they have something realistic. You're saying that most of these builders don't come in. How good then are they budgeting?
The majority of customers that come in, they don't even know what's included in that. They don't, for example, if you have a plumbing budget, they don't know if that's rough plumbing or finished plumbing or both. They don't know if it includes sinks or not, all those sorts of things. But it is so hard for my staff to see a budget that is that they can't even get all the items at 5 times that. It so pleases us that your budgets are accurate. So I applaud you guys for really crafting a budget and really consulting with your client in advance to know what they want.
I always tell my clients, my budget is made with you looking over my shoulder. It's not the magical number I'm coming up with. You're looking over my shoulder and you're allowed to make a decision. So Carol Smith here, a Solid Rock realtor, also a client. You've had many experiences, not only with our staff and how we built your home, but you've also had the privilege of helping others with their home. So I'd like to bring you in and tell us a little bit about what you see in the industry.
My husband and I have moved a lot. We've built lots of homes at all different levels. And I have to say that coming to Epic was the smartest thing we've ever done. Because literally, we feel like, and Dennis and I talked about this just this morning again for the umpteenth time, that we feel like we were really driving the train. Our budget meeting, sitting down with, you and Kirk and everyone going line by line. And we could see the changes if we said, oh, we really want this. And Kirk just puts it in and we saw the impact to our budget immediately. It was huge for us. There were no surprises. We didn't get to closing at the end with an additional $10, $15, $30,000 or more. We knew exactly where our money was going. And so having things like builder trend, huge. That was huge. Anytime, Gina would send us the invoice and we approved that before the vendor was paid, was just Nobody does that. Nobody does that. And so the quality is there. Just as Jessica was saying, when we went to the appliance, we knew what our budget was. And then having the vendor ask us, even when we went to pick out our tile, it's ask us the right questions, right? The first question Kirk asked us when we went for our build is, tell me about the rooms that you want. And from there, it blossomed with just someone listening to our needs and then building the home from there, just asking us, what colors, what type of home are you building? What do you like? And literally just being able to go and pull like the tile. She listened to us, Carrie Ann listened to us, and then went and pulled tile based on what I was saying. We were in and out in 30 minutes. And I love our selections. We had no issues with our build. It was on time. Nobody else, the standard things with Epic, they're built in. Pella windows, it's just built in. You do high-end finishes that are just built into the house. They weren't upgrades. You get this, but you could upgrade. No, they were all standard. We love our house. And so we see people drive by and then slow down in front of our house. We see people taking pictures of our house because it's different. And it's beautiful. We get compliments all the time. People walking by, they always stop and comment on our house. We love your greenhouse. It's unusual, but it speaks to us, and our home really wraps itself around us every day when we walk in. It's so comfortable, and we love it.
Both of you alluded to something unique, and that is the lack of builders' involvement in the process. And then you brought up Buildertrend. Buildertrend is a managing project software that we use, and all of our clients get. Not only do they get access to it, so they can see exactly behind the scenes of what's going on their job site. Trent here, he's one of the people that get notified, just like Ferguson's gets notified when there's something going on with your job. Trent, you get the opportunity to deal with the Epic customers, but you're also a company that involves several builders.
Yeah.
So you're getting our design team coming in to help. I'd like to know how you feel about that. I'd like to also hear about what you think when it comes like managing jobs and stuff of that nature.
Yeah. Well, I will say one of the perks about having a design team at Epic and Buildertrend is that when the client goes to see you, they've already picked out something, they have something in mind that's going to be on their budget, but at the same time, you have somebody from design that's going to be aware of how much this is going to cost to install, and they're not going to get sticker shock later when that gets sent over to me and I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that for you, but it's going to cost 4 times the amount of labor because it's 4 times the amount of time to do that. And so that helps it quite a bit. Another thing that's really helped by using this is it keeps us on task, and I don't have to call the customer back and confirm everything again with them. Yeah, you picked all this stuff out, but how do you want it installed? Your design team puts that all in Buildertrend so you can sign off on it.
Well, to your point too, your design team, what they do amongst many things is they understand, they've seen what the customer selected for this finished product, and this finished product, and they see how they coordinate. So they'll see that your appliances were this color and this finish, and you're looking now at this color and finish of light fixtures. That's not going to coordinate. Oh, okay, let's pivot and go this way.
And sometimes it's overwhelming. So with my clients, I explain to them, yes, you're going to pick everything out and you're going to decide where things go, but you have guidance along the way.
Yes.
So with Amy or even Kirk has said that, that doesn't quite match the home that you want. And then for us, we stop and go, oh, you're right. And so we could make the right decision, the educated decision based on input from experts. And then, communication is key, right? So sending a question via email, we always got to answer the next day, so that we could, okay, that makes sense. And yeah, I agree. I see it all the time.
I want to talk about the change fee game. And this is where I'm going to bring in Kirk to really explain what the industry sets you up to do. And you can then chime in to be able to tell me, yes, I'm seeing this. They come in knowing that they're being set up for disaster.
My background before I was a builder is a CPA. And so I don't like spending my money. I don't like spending your money. It's more of a genetic disorder called anal retentiveness. It's probably why we're accurate. But I also recognize the emotional component because I do have an artistic side to me. I'm a little bit of a weird cat. And what I wanted was the home and garden television experience. I figured that's what clients were seeing. So that's what they expected me to provide. And I wanted to provide that. Now, when I started the company, I couldn't from day one be that. So it's been a process. Add this, do that, do this. The biggest change we've made in our company is bringing in a true in-house design team. I'm competing against general contractors calling themselves builders. I believe the difference is a general contractor does what you tell them to do within certain specifications. A builder is full service from the inception of your idea and your dream and this Pinterest book you've put together. We're going to take that and we're going to morph that into something that you're going to be able to live in that is for you. It's not for everybody else, it's for you. And that's what we see on Home and Garden Television. We see people walking around, laying out, fabrics and all of these things. And that is probably setting the wrong expectation for the vast majority. And the biggest thing for me that was scary about that was, wow, here I am. I'm already trying to do all these things, in-house 3D design, going to the stores with the customers. I'm doing all these things. This is real money, real overhead, real cost. And my competition isn't doing it. Can I really afford to bring in a couple ladies, and it was intentional that they were ladies, to give my clients more confidence? And so it was a big leap for me because those were real people with real salaries. But I went to a seminar at the Home Builders Association, at the National Home Builders, and there was a gentleman who was an expert and said, believe it or not, you're losing $200 a day every day your job sits there. If you could pick up just 1 month, it's $6,000 per job. If you could do that times 10 jobs, that's $60,000. Might you rethink this? That you could afford to have this person or persons handhold the customer all the way through, because your number one enemy is confidence. And when they're not confident, they're going to change your work. They're going to ask for more money from you. They're going to have to bring more money to your closing. And you're going to be explaining to them that, yes, ma'am, I'm sorry, you really are $12,000 over budget on lighting alone. And now let's go pick plumbing. And that was their message to 500 builders in the room. You're inefficient. And if you can pick up efficiency, you're just like Henry Ford creating the assembly line. You can build that car cheaper and you can build it at a higher quality by better planning. And so I remember getting on the plane, coming back, and Jeff and I were talking, and I'm like, let's do it. And so it was a big leap, over $100,000 a year commitment. And would it work? And it worked. I didn't charge my clients any more money. That's what people probably don't believe. They probably listen to all this and think, oh, these guys are so expensive. We're not. Our average ending price, and I think you can attest to this, is oftentimes at one of the lower costs per square foot of the neighborhoods we build in. And it defies reason, and everybody can't believe we do it. And you can't be making money. We are making money because we're more efficient. We plan better. And anybody watching this understands if they're in a company that's inefficient, it's dying and they just don't know it yet. And that's what people need to understand. And the builders that are not efficient, they aren't good planners. They don't have software like Builder Trend. They don't do in-house design so everybody understands from day one what your goals are all the way through. Because you're right. We take them to a lot of different vendors. And every vendor, it's a new person. They're like sharks. Not most of them are beautiful people like you, but they're like, hey, I work on commission. I make money. If we're not there to say, wait a minute, that's not their goal. Their goal's over here. Then they, through confidence or a lack of it, spend money. And they'll keep spending money. And then they show up at your door over. Not a little, but a lot. In our market, 10 to 15% is about what most builders are shooting to make. But on change orders, I might let you answer this, Jessica. What do you think the percentages that you see on change orders?
I have seen builders put 30% on change orders.
Yeah.
The fee is $150 just to discuss it. And then here's your price on, what it's the equivalent of a few $100, not even $100 in wood, but they'll mark it up 30%, which is insane. The other thing that you brought up that I really want to talk to, I think that sets you guys apart, is that planning piece.
That's one of the huge differences for you guys, because that helps you manage your overall budget. So at the end, your variance is here where others don't do it. And at the end, they're like, well, I got to do my accounting. I got to figure out how much I owe who. And there's builders like that. I'm sorry. The toughest thing you guys have is also the best thing you guys have. When you're trying to sell a house and someone else selling a house, and you know this, clients want to hear yes. They want to hear what they want to hear because they got the wants, right? And you guys are being the parents at the time. This is your budget. This is your cost. And here's what I'm going to do for you. And here's what it's going to take. And this is what I'll deliver. Your competition, yes, you can get the, you know, the plumbing, get the lighting, get the features, and it'll be this price. And then until the end.
This is what I want people to hear, the gaps, what I'm planning for, which is what you're not planning for. There's actually a builder has a great website and he has 12 pages of add-ons. And if you go through and start punching all those buttons of those add-ons, you're now going to be at my level of house. And guess what? We're all equally priced out. Problem is, I'm going to tell you day one, they're going to tell you later.
Well, the biggest thing that I see a lot with the other clients through other builders is the fact that they don't know really what they're getting into, what their expectations are going to be when they come to meet with me. They want, well, these beautiful tile jobs they've seen on Pinterest, and they don't understand really what it costs to put that in there. And so,
is the builder not even trying to help them figure out the cost?
No, they dump that on us, or in most cases, it's not even just dumped on me as the contractor. It's dumped on someone like you who is over there to sell them the look that they want. But again, most of the time, you don't know what their budget is. And of course, they come in there, they're going to show you whatever. For you, it's chandeliers. For me, they're going to show pictures of marble slabs on the wall or granite and tiles that cost $65 a square foot. In reality, what they're budgeted for was, you know, maybe a $2 a square foot tile in some cases, just for example. And so the bigger problem is they're going to go in there, they're going to pick all that out. Then the retailer is going to send this invoice or this quote over to the builder, and then they're going to be like, wow, you're like $15,000 on over budget on your materials. Now you don't have any labor to install it. So then it becomes another problem of going back to you 2 or 3 times versus just being transparent and saying, here's your budget. That's just what's going to install. Get some ideas of what looks you want, and then we can make it happen. Like you said, perfect example, $30,000 chandelier. You can find something else, some other product that has the same appeal. If more people could have those conversations with their clients, it would make their jobs and their builds go, and my job's so much easier as well, because I'm not being delayed, the home's not being delayed. The biggest thing that I've noticed, or that I feel about working with Epic in general versus retailers that I've worked for, I've subcontracted for stores and I've done remodels and I've worked for many other builders. But one thing that I've noticed is when I get called out to a job by somebody else, I'm being told, I need this done, this is the job, and it's just the address. Or I'm at the job and I call and I say, hey, I have a question. I'm working over here on like the Smith house. Their response is, what job is that? Give me the address. And that just immediately told me, well, yeah, this is a job. I call you. Every client that we discuss, their home is not an address. It is the family's name. And that just shows to me that you care about that product. Everything that you've said about finances and everything, but they don't see that there's actually a personal touch, that you actually care about what you're doing for this person and the next person that moves into that home.
I appreciate
we
that.
appreciate that. Absolutely.
I just think it's how
Today we got
we're
cookies
raised.
brought to the office from one of our clients, and I can just name this client after client that has brought us gifts over the years, or hey, it's Thanksgiving and they brought us a meal, right? They brought us like meals during this time. So when you get that reflection back from your clients, it does make you feel like you're doing the right thing. I just want to give everybody a thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come visit with us. It means a lot to us. I want to be hopefully transparent to what's going on out there, and I appreciate your honesty with everything. Thank you so much for everyone.